Hey, hey, hey! This is the cause! Hello, listeners! There's only one thing I like more than my Jell-O pudding. I mean, two things I like better. First, when I dip my spoon in the Jell-O pudding, I listen to TrickTrades Fallout Shelter podcast. The TrickTrades and the Fallout Shelter with Pat Mitchell and the Tino. You know, it's the most badass podcast on the entire planet, don't you know? And what's the other thing I like more than Fallout Shelter? Well, you see, take a sip of my drink and I'll tell you all about it. Now, sit back, relax, and listen.
Holy shit, that was Bill Cosby. I can't believe these guys. Bill Cosby.
Hey, you know what,
the
man?
Rapist. We had a rapist here. What is wrong with us?
Dude,
We're degenerate.
people, I don't care if you're a rapist or a banker, man. You love TrickTrades. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like
Anyway.
Bill Cosby, the biggest serial rapist in American history. America's dad loves TrickTrades. Loves us.
America's rapey dad.
I had him and his Jell-O pudding, man. Throw a little
Yeah, man.
GHB in that Jell-O pudding, you're good to go.
He's good to go. Like that's how he gets you, man. He
That's
offered
it, man.
me Jell-O. I was like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good, Bill. I'm good.
Did he run out into the woods like Michael Buffer
Yeah,
did?
just like
Yeah.
Michael Buffer. I don't know what's with these
What's
Americans.
going on in the woods, man?
I don't know, man. I think it's just Americans see forest and bush. Well, you know, like Bill Cosby sees bush, he's gonna run for it.
Yeah, man. You know he's got some fat slob out there tied to a tree, drinking his drink. You know, he's doing something crazy out there.
Exactly.
Too
Well,
funny.
anyways, guys, welcome to episode 4 with Trick and Tino Fallout Shelter. Welcome. So we'll get right into it. So tonight's episode, I think, is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be about ranting and outing people and all that jazz.
Who knows? We
I
might
think
get
this.
into
Yeah, actually, there's no guarantees. So tonight's episode is going to be about mind and body. Now, before you roll your fucking eyes, guys, relax. This is important stuff. You know, it's so grossly overlooked. Like,
Yeah.
you see a lot of people, they just, especially once they kind of, you know, they get a little bit older, they start to let themselves go, right? They get comfortable in their relationships, they get comfortable in their jobs, and they start to let themselves go, and then they wonder why, for guys, their dick doesn't work, right?
Yep.
That's number one. They wonder, and then they got to go to the doctor and go get boner pills and everything else. Where a lot of that is just lack of activity. Like, inactivity is a killer, man. Like, it's a killer. I mean, you know, you got to keep in motion, right?
Yeah. You know, I'm glad you brought this up because, you know, before we went live here on the mic, we were talking on the phone real briefly, and we were talking about, you know, what TrickTrades is about, and what we're doing. And you had this idea to do this podcast about this, and I thought it was a great idea because, number one, nobody else out there is doing what we're doing. And this all goes back to what I said before, you know, from where I came from with my parents, what they went through, what my aunt's going through with Alzheimer's, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. If you don't have your health, you don't have shit. If you don't have your health, money doesn't matter. And I think that's one thing that's overlooked in this whole day trading world. Nobody pays any attention to health. It's all about staring at a computer screen and making money. Well, that's all fine and good, but if you're fat, overweight, you're not eating right, you're tired, headaches, whatever, what good is that? You know what I mean? It's going to catch up to you and it's going to take you down eventually. So I'm glad that you wanted to do this podcast. I think it's really important, you know?
Oh yeah, it's super important. Anytime, like I'm an avid, I'm a fucking gym rat. Have been for years.
I have.
before I started training, I was I've always been in, moderate shape, and then all of a sudden it's like someone flicked a switch, and I started gaining weight, getting fat, and because it happened over time, I didn't really notice until one day I was just like, man, I look like shit. So I started training, started eating right. Started running some gear after I got a little bit bigger. And I mean, I love being strong. I mean, I love that, knowing that no matter what, I'm big on, self-protection and protecting my family for those of you that don't know, like I live for shit like that, for someone to, ever put my family in a situation of danger.
I think you're waiting to blow somebody's head off. Don't you have guns everywhere? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my Bond Arms Snake Slayer pistol in the desk. I mean, I'm big on protecting what's mine.
Yeah,
and,
man.
I mean, there's this, a quick story here. I've told this story in chat. It's a pretty funny story. So I was driving. We were driving, and we were on the north end of Edmonton, and this young punk kid starts driving like a fucking idiot. And he basically, I see red because I had my son in the vehicle, and I had my girlfriend in the vehicle, and you're putting my family in danger. You want to drive like that, you plain and simple, you're putting my family in danger. So I'm going to teach this punk a lesson. So then the car chase ensues. So of course, obviously that's not anything good. I ended up putting my family in danger. Walking away, but I can't stand these people that are tough behind the wheel. So I had them blocked in at a really heavily trafficked intersection. And I went into the back seat and I grabbed, don't ask me why, but we had a stripper pole at the back of the truck. So I jumped out and I went to attack this guy full force. And this is at the time when I was at my biggest and baddest. So you got a 250-pound man that's only 5'9". That's 250 pounds.
That's a big boy, man. Testosterone just freaking running through your blood.
Yeah, I was running some pretty gnarly gear at the time.
Yeah.
So I was basically able to kill an elephant if I wanted to. Yeah. So jumped out with the stripper pole in my hand and went to attack this guy. And the look on this kid's face, I can tell you right now, he'll never do it again. He'll never do it again. And someone took mercy on his soul. The guy that was ahead of him ended up driving up into the shoulder so that fucking guy could get out, or I would have killed him. Wow. I have no patience for people that are like that. And I don't really know where I was going with that story.
That's a good story.
Just the look, it was right in like rush hour traffic. And
Jeez,
but yeah, this kid, I guarantee he'll never do that again. He'll never do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm big on protection. I'm big on
well, it's confidence too,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, you got to be able to protect yourself and your family, and you're not going to be able to do so if you're out of breath after you swing the first punch, right?
Yeah, totally.
So that was one of my motivating factors to get healthy, and so everyone has their own reasons, right? Like as crazy as some of the reasons may be, I mean that's obviously a pretty crazy reason, but to me it makes sense and it's practical. To you, you're probably shaking your head and saying Pat's a fucking idiot, but I mean, that's what it is, right? I mean, everyone has their own motivating factors, right? So,
right.
And I think with day trading, especially if you're not physically fit, you're not going to be mentally fit. And I know it's kind of cliche to say stuff like that, guys, but I'm telling you, because I'm super busy with TrickTrades, right? So the occasional time, like I train every day, each and every day. I don't take rest days. I'm not into rest days because that's all I'm thinking about is, smashing weights if I am taking a rest day. So if I'm unable to and something comes up and I'm just way too busy, because I do get really busy. I don't think a lot of people really realize if you're going to run a room properly, it's more than a full-time gig. Like you're working, right? It's the 1 year anniversary today, May 22nd, 2018. We opened up in May 22nd, 2017. So it's 1 year anniversary of TrickTrades today. And I haven't had a day off. It's been anywhere between 10 and 20 hour days, literally, and more on the latter end. It's you got to take care of yourself. And, I start getting run down from time to time. And, and I notice I kind of put two and two together. If I'm starting to get run down, I kind of take a look at what my diet's been for that week, and it's huge. So funny, man. It's huge, and that's usually when I start getting
don't realize it.
Yeah, man. Your diet, like I remember running this one meal plan, right? So I like to try and keep things simple, but I had enough. It was 2 years straight on literally eating the exact same bloody thing, day in, day out. So I wanted to spice something up. So I ended up finding a real badass meal plan. And I tell you, holy shit, the amount of food that I was eating in the morning was insane. But I tell you what, the amount of energy I had, it felt like I was on drugs. I felt so good. Yeah. So good. I had so much energy. It's amazing what proper nutrition will do for you. And it's just something that it's really overlooked. And if there's one piece of advice I could give you guys, if you're having problems with trading, look more so at your diet and your lifestyle. And I'm telling you,
huge.
Yeah, huge. Hey, like
this whole mind body thing too. I think when people get up in the morning, here's the thing. Everybody wants to get up, attack the computer, start making trades and making money, but you need to get your mindset right first in the morning, okay? So what I do and what people take for granted and they don't realize it is that every day is a gift. When you get up in the morning and you stand up, just take a second and just say to yourself, thank God I'm able to get out of bed and walk on my own two legs. And thank you for this day. Let's get it going. You know what I mean? People, I don't think, realize how grateful they should be that they get the next day. You know what I mean? So get your mindset right first going in to day trading in the morning. That's what I do when I get up in the morning. I just say what I'm grateful for. Takes 2 seconds and it puts you in a good mindset.
Oh, that'll instantly turn it around. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, that. And the simplest things that you overlook are the biggest things. You know what I wasn't doing, and it made a huge difference? I wasn't hydrating. I wasn't drinking enough water.
Oh, fuck. You guys have no idea how much water I drink a day, and it's such a huge, wow. Yeah.
If you're sitting down and you're getting up and you get out of the chair and you're like, tight, cramps, you're dehydrated. When you go to the bathroom, I know this is going to sound gross, but you got to do it. If your pee is the color of bright yellow, you are dehydrated. Your pee needs to be a very light yellow color, almost clear. Then you're hydrated. Then you're hydrated.
It's like the slightest little bit of yellow. Yeah, you barely even, it's just like a hint off of clear. Yeah. And if it's not like that, you need to get that right.
Yeah. And so you know what I do, Pat? I tell you, man, and this has changed everything because I didn't realize how dehydrated I was until I started doing this. I took a ball mason jar, that you can with. Those glass ball mason jars? I drink 4 of these a day. That's a gallon. So in the morning, I fill it up. When we do our pre-market thing, I've got my mason jar of water, and I just sip it. I don't sit there and just force myself to drink it because nobody wants to do that. But if it's there next to you, you just keep sipping it. Next thing you know, you've finished one. On to the next one. I'm telling you, if you do that every day for a month, you are going to feel completely different. just from that.
Also, and not only just feeling better, it's because you're hydrating yourself. You're going to flush that excess water, and you'll probably notice you'll lose 7 to 10 pounds.
Yep.
Because if you're not hydrating, you're going to have excess water weight.
Yeah.
So that's like, you know how people say, oh, wow, I lost 10 pounds in the first week of working out. It's like, nah, it's not pounds. It's just water.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to lose the first 7 to 10 because that's just water. It's just excess water weight. And excess water weight actually gives you hypertension, which for those of you that don't know is high blood pressure. So that's a big thing, right? So like I usually will over the winter, because my diet's definitely a little more lax because I'm more so in the bulking phase. I'll have a little bit of excess water. That's just because of some of the stuff that I'm running. But once I get into springtime, summertime, like you can see my pictures on the TrickTrades website, that like moon face. I've got a big fucking stupid head to begin with, but usually like those pictures are taken over the winter, and that's just a little bit of excess water, right?
Yeah.
So, and not to mention, actually, it's funny because those pictures were taken as I was talking about earlier about being burnt out, and a lot had to do with diet at that time, right? So, I mean, it's huge. But, Tino talking about water there, one of my morning routines, what I do as soon as I get out of bed, go to the washroom, I jump in the shower. I take a shower every morning, have to. I find it wakes me up. And then as soon as I get out of the shower, I pound back. I know Tino was saying sipping it, but I pound back. I've got a really big cup. Like it's like a big plastic shaker cup.
Yeah.
But I use that for my water cup, and I'll slam a full one of those. Yeah. And that'll wake me up more than a cup of coffee. That really gets you going. And try it. If you guys don't pound back a bunch of water first thing in the morning, try it. Yeah. Try it tomorrow morning. And I bet within 5 minutes you're gonna feel like you've already drank your first cup of coffee. You'll wake up. And it's huge. It's all about waking up, right? Because the one chat room that I was in Foos's room, Cameron Foos's room, way back, and I lasted about a week. I fucking hated it. Anyways, I'm not going to slam him or anything. I know we said we weren't going to slam anyone, but what I didn't like, fuck it. What I didn't like is that the fucking guy had pillow creases on his face. He just rolled out of bed at 20 after 9. And he comes on mic like 10 minutes to, and he's got pillow creases on his face. His hair's all fucking messy. Now, I'm not saying you got to look like a fucking top or anything, but I mean, like, you can tell, like, he literally just fell out of bed, Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous. And this guy's going to teach me how to make money? Shit.
Right.
Even at that time, I knew, like, no, you can't operate like that. I just didn't like the whole demeanor, like that whole, I don't know. It's like that. It's almost like that, like a used up, washed up alcoholic cop type of. I kind of had a vision of that as like just some like washed up motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's in Foos's defense. He is doing a lot better physically and mentally now than he was years ago. So I do want to put that out there,
right?
But before that's how he was. I mean, you could almost smell the booze coming out of his pores, and he's falling out of bed like that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
You can't operate like that, guys, and for those of you that do drink, I get it. I mean, I was a complete alcoholic junkie. I mean, I've got stories to tell you guys. That's another episode, but I've really pulled my life together, a complete turnaround.
That's awesome.
That's the complete opposite. Besides the fact that I smoke a vaporizer, I'm a pitcher of health now. And before, go back to my younger days, the complete opposite. Don't know how I'm alive. I mean, wait till you guys hear that episode, because I've got fucking stories that.
Oh yeah, we've got to share some of those stories, because I've got some good ones too. But I'm dying to hear your stories. And
dude,
it's funny talking about the drinking, because when I was, it's such a freaking toxic lifestyle being a bartender,
it is.
a nightclub bartender in Vegas, because number one, we would drink all night while we're working. So my buddy and I would finish a bottle of vodka throughout the whole night. We just do shots, slam shots. In a bottle, you get about 22 shots of booze, right?
Yeah.
So within a course of a night, both of us together could easily throw back 11, 12 shots throughout the night. So we kill a bottle of vodka. We were doing that 3 nights a week. Yeah. Then you get out of the club at 4 a.m, 5 a.m. That's when everybody starts to go out. Then we go out at 5 a.m. We don't get home till noon. You feel like a slob. You're coming out of the club at 11. There's joggers dragging by you, feeling all healthy. I'm looking at them like, who are you kidding? I'm walking out of a club cocked off my ass, and a jogger passes me. I'm like, hey, that's what I should be doing. But I'm telling you, man, I'm so glad I got out of that business. I mean, drinking it's deadly. I've lost a couple friends that have drank themselves to death. Yeah,
I just lost a friend of mine, Loser Dave. I refer to him as Loser Dave. I mean, that's his nickname, right?
Yeah.
And that guy was my best friend in the whole fucking world. I mean, some of the crazy shit we've done, and I always tried throughout the years to keep him, to help him turn his life around. He's one of the most talented people I've ever met when it comes to art and creativity, but he had no drive. He comes from a family with no drive, and the whole family it's a whole family. I mean, they're all geniuses. I mean, his dad, he's the head of electrical engineering at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, and it kind of sounds like just a bullshit school, but Nate is pretty heavily regarded.
Yeah,
and so, anyways, Dave, he finally his body gave out, and I mean, he's 36 years old.
Wow.
Like, we're talking a 36-year-old when your body gives out from
that's crazy
and drugs, right? So you can imagine the level of extreme that I mean he did. I mean that's how he was. That's how he's always been. And I mean that's how I was too. So I ran into a bunch of people that I haven't spoke to in years. Like when I gave everything up, I stopped talking to everyone. Like, I don't really talk to anyone. Like, I really have no desire to for friends. To be honest. I mean, people they just piss me off. It's pretty short lived. So, running into these people, and you see they're just like, fuck, man, like, you guys are still acting like you're in high school. Like you still, like, there was one guy, George, he was walking around with literally 3 beers in his hand while we were at the funeral, right? Like knuckleheads, right? Like,
right.
That's all those fucking bums. So, you feel so much better. So, I mean, it's something that you need to consider as a day trader if you want to be successful. And I know that sounds like bullshit, and because we all get force fed this Tim Sykes, old Cameron Foose type a party mentality, right? With, the girls in bikinis and the booze and everything else, partying. And that's that whole Wall Street type of mentality. It's like, hey guys, first of all, you don't work on Wall Street. You work from your fucking living room, half of you, right? So
I tell you what, man, look at a picture of Tim Sykes in 2008 and look at a picture of him now. Look how fat he's gotten. He's gotten lazy. He's gotten lazy. And you know what's funny? I don't know if anybody's ever noticed it. Whenever you see these athletes retire, I mean, God, they've made millions, like Michael Jordan, like Charles Barkley, all these guys. Look how much weight they put on after they retire. Because I don't know if they get comfortable with the money they made, or they just don't have any desire because they busted their ass. I get it. But you got to take care of your body, man. You got to take care of your body, and when you're day trading, same thing. You don't want to get old. Like I said, you don't want to get old and crippled and pain, because who cares about money? If you're waking up in misery every day, it's not worth it, And just from the simple thing of doing the water,
Yeah.
It's going to make a huge difference. And you know what? I want to get into real quick, like, what do you eat in the morning? And I'll get into and I'll tell you what I do. I mean, I do a real simple thing. What do you do?
Yeah. I'm super simple. It's a cup of oatmeal.
Yep.
And I put a scoop of protein in it.
Yeah.
And then usually I'll have either an orange or a grapefruit. I keep it super simple. That's it.
Simple.
That's all I eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they do these elaborate. See, that's what okay, no, go on. Before we get into that, what do you have in the morning?
What do I do? Well, I tell you what, first thing I do is I make my own yogurt. I love yogurt. And I make my own.
Oh, you make your own?
Oh, dude, listen to this. Do you know what an Instant Pot is?
I love yogurt. Love it.
Do you know what an Instant Pot is? Have you ever heard of it? It's like a crock pot, but it's called an Instant Pot. You can cook anything in this Instant Pot in minutes. You can take a frozen chicken breast, put it in there. It's a pressure cooker. You put a frozen chicken breast in there, 6 minutes, done, cooked.
Nice.
So, dude, you can I highly recommend everybody getting one. It'll make your life so much easier because I hate cooking. I hate buying the groceries. I hate prepping it. I like to eat it. Mm-hmm. But that was one thing is I hate fucking prepping the shit, but you get an Instant Pot. Oh my God. It just creates so much more free time. So I make my own yogurt. Mm-hmm. So I make batches of it. I make gallons of it at a time. And Greek yogurt, you strain it, you take all the whey out of it, and it's just it's really rich, protein filled yogurt, plain.
Yeah, man.
So I'll grab one of those in the morning. I just call it like a protein bomb. It's a lot of yogurt. I put unflavored protein powder in there, whey protein powder.
Yeah. I use unflavored protein powder on everything.
Yeah, because you can put it in everything.
On everything.
Everything,
you don't
man.
even notice. Yeah.
And I'll take if I have live fruit, I'll go to the farmer's market and get some fresh fruit like kiwi. Kiwi is awesome. Any fruit you want, throw it in there. And here's the other thing I do that a lot of people don't realize that is really good for you are chia seeds and flaxseed.
Yeah, totally.
You can sprinkle chia seeds in the yogurt. It adds about 4 grams of extra protein. It absorbs 10 to 12 times their weight in water. So you put that in the yogurt, it expands, and when you eat it, you feel full. So if you out there that you're afraid you're going to eat too much, whatever, I'm telling you, put chia seeds on everything. Put it on your salads. If you eat bread, put it on your bread, sauces, anything. It's going to fill you up. Yeah. And they're filled with antioxidants, filled with protein.
So good for you.
Yeah. So I have that protein. I have that yogurt thing in the morning. That's all I need. That and the water. And I'm good to go.
Yeah. I'm huge with yogurt too. I love dairy products, but yogurt, Greek yogurt, man. Oh, forget about it. I mean, that with some granola, like a quarter cup of granola in it. Like, fuck, man. Just best ever.
Yeah.
What I was going to say before is a lot of people, the reason why they fail is they like anytime they do like these diets and shit, first of all, it shouldn't be a diet. It should be, a lifestyle, right? Like
it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah. It's just, that's how you eat, period. Right. So, but they do these really elaborate, cockamamie fucking meal preps. And
who wants to do that?
Nobody. I don't have time for that. I'm busy for that shit. I keep things so simple. It's super simple. Like one of my go-to meals, and I have talked about this before, is, and man, it literally is the perfect meal with the breakdown of macros and everything else. But it's rice. Now, white or brown, I don't give a shit. I would prefer if you guys use brown, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Brown's better, but whatever. So rice, ground beef. I use ground sirloin, right? So I'll if they don't have sirloin, I'll get them to grind up some steaks and shit. So I use. You can just use lean or extra lean ground beef and strain it. That's fine. And then ground turkey or ground chicken breast as well.
Yeah.
And then I'll throw one of the 1 liter or whatever the fuck you Americans call it, carton of egg whites in it. And I put it all in a skillet. And that's it. That's my meal. And I'll put.
You made a dozen eggs?
What's that?
A dozen? You throw a dozen eggs in the skillet?
Yeah.
And
one of the big cartons. Yeah, with all that beef and rice, and it's such a it's so fucking good.
But you eat that in one sitting?
No.
I was gonna say, man.
Good God, man. I mean, I eat a lot, but not that much. That's like I'll try and eat that at least once, but it's more like 2-3 times a day. Those are my mini meals, right? So, a lot of, but I mean, I don't expect you guys to be eating like that. I mean, you're not, 230,
but
40, right? But simple
I'm all
is
for
what
making it simple.
What I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I do the same thing. Like, I'll go to Costco or whatever and buy the huge thing of eggs. I mean, you got to go through a little pain to get some pleasure. Like I said, I hate prepping, but if you take an hour out of your day to prep for the week, then you're good. So I'll go buy that huge batch of eggs. And what I do is I take an hour and separate the egg whites and put them in a big jug and just put that jug in the refrigerator. And then I've got egg whites at my disposal all week long. You can put it in shakes. You can just fry up some quick egg whites. You can put it on sandwiches. You know what I mean? After you cook them, it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I do that a lot. I make huge salads.
Whole foods. Whole foods. Like, none of that processed shit. Like, even those lean cuisines and all the shit. Stay away from it. It's packed with salt. If you look at the sodium content, it's like, holy shit, man.
Oh, man.
It's insane. Like, stay away from that shit. The only thing you need to do to have, like, for dinner is a piece of meat, a carb, right? like a starch, like a fucking rice or potato. And then some green vegetables. That's it. Just fucking eat it. And you hear people, but I get sick of the same fucking thing, eating that over and over. Grow up. Have some fucking discipline. Don't worry about it. You can't have everything you eat can be pleasurable. I mean, if that's the case, you're going to be a slob, right?
Yeah.
Your body is your temple, man. It really is. It's about what you put into it. And some of us have some vices and shit, right? So you're going to put a little bit of bad shit, but it's that leveling effect, right? Like, it's that scale, right? So, maybe if you guys do have some unhealthy habits, try and balance it out with some good, solid, healthy ones. And, you'll be good to go.
I know a lot of you out there, this is like sensory overload. You're like, well, how am I going to do all this at once? Just chip away at it. Do one thing at a time. Start tomorrow, start drinking water and see how you feel. And then from there, you're going to feel better. Start progressing into something else. Then say, hey, you know what? I'm going to prep for a week of this meal right here and just go do it. Just do it one day and just see how it goes, man. I'm telling you, it's going to change your life.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you can't come into the markets half-cocked. This is serious business. This is where the big boys come to play with their money. I've said this before in video lessons and all that.
You know what else I wanted to get into, Pat, is the time that's spent at the computer desk in the morning. You can also use that to multitask. And what I mean that is, you know how they're always saying sitting is the new smoking. You sit for hours and hours and hours, and people, I don't know about you guys, I can't sit there. I mean, maybe some of you are sitting there and not realizing how much time is going by while you're sitting in that prone position. Your posture is jacked up because nobody has good posture sitting in a chair.
No, you're all slumped over, right?
Yeah, you get that nerd neck, you know what I mean, where your neck's kind of tilting forward, and it's going to throw everything out of whack. So I would highly recommend everybody stretching. You have that time where you're staring at the computer screen. Get out of your chair, stand up, put your hands over your head, move around, stretch. And there's some good stretches you can do because when you sit for that long of a time, your hip flexors, those are the muscles that connect your hip to your spine. They run in front of your hip and they go into the back and connect right at the bottom of your spine. They get super tight. Now, if those hip flexors are tight and you try and stand up, guess what's going to happen? It's going to push you forward. It's going to kind of roll you over. You won't be able to stand up straight because those hip flexors are so tight. And from you sitting at the desk for hours and hours and not doing anything about it, you're going to be in pain after a while. And if you keep doing that for years and years, it's going to get really bad. So there's a couple of simple things. I don't know, Pat, you want to talk about, I can explain a couple stretches that I do. You know what I mean? That real simple,
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I was just going to comment. It's funny because the hip flexors, as small as they are, they're tiny. It's a small little band of muscle. And I've blown out a hip flexor before on a heavy squat. And I tell you, like, I was so fucked.
They're
really wasn't funny. Yeah.
You don't realize how much you use your hip flexors. So you have the muscle. Yeah. The main muscle is your psoas, okay? That's the muscle that runs from the front of your hip, goes into your back, and connects to the bottom of your spine, right? The easiest way to stretch that, if you guys are sitting at your screen, I'm actually going to do it while I'm saying this just so I can explain it better, but you stand up and you get into like what I would call what Tim Tebow used to do? Remember his kneel?
Yeah.
That Tim Tebow kneel? You get on one kneel like you're gonna propose to somebody. You get on one knee, and you keep your chest up straight, facing forward, and you just kind of you posterior tilt your hips. Now, what that means is you try and aim your tailbone forward while maintaining that pose, if that makes sense to you guys. So you're in the Tim Tebow stance, right? Kneeling. You know what I mean? And you're just kind of doing a posterior tilt. You're aiming your tailbone forward. And you're going to feel that stretch. You might not even have to move your hips because they might be so tight. Just sitting in that position is going to stretch them. You know what I mean? Those are probably the best stretches you can do for your psoas, your hip flexors. And you just alternate from one to the other. Do that for 5 minutes. Stand up and then sit down again. You know what I mean? And then in another 15 minutes, just stand up. You don't want to just be sitting down for hours and hours and not getting out of that damn chair. You know what I mean? No. So use that time to your advantage.
Yeah, do the Tim Tebow tailbone top. See that fucking
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what do you call that position? You know what I mean? Like if you were going to propose to somebody, you get down on one knee, basically, right? Yeah. You face forward, and this is funny. You twerk. If you can twerk.
Okay, now we've lost all fucking credibility here.
Listen. Those twerkers.
TrickTrades is telling everyone to twerk for Christ's sake.
What the fuck are these guys talking? Listen, guys, this is fucking no joke, man. Listen, I'm not saying twerk. I'm saying, those people that twerk, their hip flexors are freaking loose, man. The way they move their ass back and forth, holy shit. I'm not kidding, man. It's no joke. I bet you if you try and stand up right now and try and twerk, if you can't, you know what that means? Your freaking hips are on lockdown. Your psoas are so tight, you can't even do a pelvic tilt. That's how tight your hip flexors are. You need to stretch them, So start twerking, everybody.
That's right. You heard it here first.
Listen. Yeah. So, but you know what? That's how people, that's how you can describe it. Twerk, when I say a pelvic tilt, that's what a twerk is. They're tilting their pelvis forward and backwards in a real rapid motion. But that's what it is. It's a pelvic tilt. You know what I mean?
You know what's major funny about this is, like, I know for a fact now, Tino, you fucking twerk, man. I know you do.
Listen,
there's no denying it.
Who's the one with the stripper pole in the trunk? You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. But hey, that's not my stripper pole.
I put on the little short shorts and twerk around the house. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's rough. That's
living, buddy. But there's all kinds of stretches you can do. You know what I mean? While you're sitting there watching these stretches.
I know that you have a stand-up desk, right? So
yeah, those are awesome. It's a very.
I do want to get one, but I mean, shit, man. I got so many fucking monitors. I don't know. I'd have to move everything around, but I do. I don't like sitting all day. See, when I was a welder, even at lunchtime, coffee time, I never sat down. Never. You would never catch me sitting down. Always on the move, always on the go. Right. So since I started trading, you do become way more inactive. And you got to take steps in order to get that handled, because man, it's only going to get worse, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're seated all day long, every single day, 5 days a week for 8 hours, your muscles are going to atrophy. You're not using them. They're going to get weak. They're going to get tight. And guess what happens when they get tight? Your body's a kinetic chain, right? Everything is connected. So if your hamstrings are tight, your hip flexors are tight, guess what that's doing? That's pulling your spine out of alignment. And the last thing you want is to have your spine messed up somehow, because that's the most painful thing ever. I have a bad back just from years of bartending.
Yeah.
You know, just bending over at that awkward angle. I've totally degenerated my L4-5. It's totally gone. But one thing that saved me, and I can tell you this, guys out there,
twerking.
Well, besides twerking, man, yoga saved my back. That is no joke. And yoga is no joke, man. It's hard. It's hard to get in those positions. But once you start stretching and become more flexible, your whole body is going to change.
Yeah, I've actually wanted to get into that. I really have. And it's something it's on the list of things to do.
You need to do it, man.
Yeah, I'm really just being a pussy and kind of like procrastinating.
Dude, start twerking, and then you're going to start twerking. I'm telling you, you're going to love it.
Oh
gosh.
But yeah, I mean, it's there's so many things that you could be doing, and just little things, right? Like you guys, like you don't need to get too carried away. Like don't get overwhelmed, right? Because I'm positive that there's only there's only a handful of people at TrickTrades out of 300 plus members that actually work out and train and take that sort of shit serious. And even for some of, because we have some older members and stuff too, right?
Guys, I'm older than mostly everybody there.
That's crazy. When I found out how old you were, I was like, no, I didn't believe it for a second. You look, I thought you were my age, man. And
well, thanks, man.
As old as dirt, man.
But I can twerk, man.
I mean, it's funny because he sounds young, but that's just
it's the attitude,
his lifestyle. It's
the lifestyle,
right? Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's a lifestyle, man. And
absolutely.
And you know what? I just want to I just want to talk about this other stretch that's super simple that you guys can be doing.
Yeah.
When you're sitting at your desk, you're sitting in your chair, take one leg and put it across the other like a figure 4. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So your ankle is resting on your thigh. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now sit there with your back up straight and push on your knee down, and you're going to feel a stretch in your hip. You want to widen up those hips, and you just push down on that knee, and man, you can feel that stretch. Just do that. If you're sitting there and you got nothing to do, you're watching a chart, just do that. It takes 5 minutes. And then you just kind of lean forward into that stretch, and you really feel your glutes start stretching, and you're cracking open your hips. Such a good stretch to do. That's just another simple stretch you guys can be doing while you're watching charts, Yeah,
so, it doesn't take anything to do, right? I mean, you're sitting there anyways, right? So, no, I mean, there's tons of stuff, like just what Tino just told you. Just do those couple of stretches a day, and I mean, I bet you after doing that for a week straight, you would notice even a slight, at least, like even just mentally, physically, everything. Like it all adds up. It's just a matter of doing it, right?
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely. It's a matter of making the commitment to do it, and you know what I do too every day during lunch, because who wants to trade during lunch? I go outside and I walk. I walk a mile. Just walk. That's some great low impact exercise. Great for your heart. Just take a day. I mean, just take an hour at lunchtime. Forget everything. Forget the charts. Forget the trading for right now. Get out there and take care of your body and just walk at a little brisk pace. Get your heart rate going. You're going to feel great, especially summertime. Get outside, enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, it felt good, actually. I mean, up here in Canada, especially where I am, I mean, the summers are short, right? So,
yeah,
I was out there doing some gardening, and it was good, and it's really warm out here today. I think it got up to 27 or 28 Celsius, which is, it's hot. I don't give a fuck where you are.
What is that in Fahrenheit?
Oh, that would be well into the 80s, right?
Oh, wow,
so
really?
It's warm. Yeah, it's warm. Yeah, it's warm. So, so just got out there and sweating my ass off, and it was kind of funny coming back into just to kind of check and see how everyone was doing, and called out a trade on ð´'ğa that we all fucking nailed. And it's funny because, it always seems that way, that when you're at your most relaxed, you can really just hone in on shit. Right. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Not that we nailed some trade. I mean, who gives a shit? But it's that focus, right? Yeah. It's that focus and that attention to detail, because I find when you're not at like peak performance, it's almost like you're looking at things with a blinder on, but not in a good way. Yeah. It's not like a focus. It's almost like you're blank staring at something, instead of that, taking a quick second to analyze. It takes you that little bit longer. And folks, as day traders, we don't have that. We don't have that extra second. If you hesitate, you masturbate, man. I mean, you got to be on the ball. You really have to be on the ball. And it is a way to keep your body and mind sharp, man. And that's what this episode's all about. I mean, it's
yeah. And Pat, what do you say usually? What do you tell everybody in the room if they're having a shitty day, they're having a bad what do? You say shut it down. Just there's always tomorrow. Shut it down. Go outside, take a long walk, clear your mind, and forget about it, man. You got tomorrow.
That's the biggest thing, guys, right? A lot of you will stew about it all fucking day. You'll just leave and you'll be all in a fucking huff, but you don't either face what you did head on, like the mistakes you made, or you don't have some sort of a stress relief. Go out, get yourself a fucking heavy bag. And I don't care if little old ladies are listening to this. And I mean, I doubt little old ladies are listening to my dumb ass, but I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. Go get yourself like a heavy bag, man.
Yeah. Go off steam.
Beat the shit out of it. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, especially nowadays, folks, in the society we live in, if you yell, if you raise your voice, if you get pissed off, people look at you like you're a fucking mental patient. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. If you don't have an outlet to really let your aggression out, you're going to have major issues when you're older. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Yeah. Myself, I'm not going to have any issues, man. I always get my anger out. Someone pisses me off, I tell them to go fuck themselves. Right? Yeah. If I'm all stressed out, I'll go beat the shit out of my heavy bag. I'll go smash some weights. I'll do whatever I got to do to feel better. It's all about feeling better. You got to feel good. If you don't feel good, you're going to be, your performance is going to be horrible.
Yeah. You know what my favorite piece of equipment I have is? A battle rope. And I don't know if you guys know what that is. 40 foot piece of rope, 2.5 inches diameter. I forgot how much it weighs. But you wrap it around an anchor point and you can swing that thing all day long, man. And it's such an amazing full body workout. You won't. It's
crazy
amazing.
How well it works. Hey, how much it really tires you. It tires you, man.
What's great about it is you can take it in your car, go to the park, wrap it around a tree, do it there. You can keep it in your garage. So if you're having a shitty day in the market, shut it down, go outside, hit the rope for a half hour and just burn it off, man. You're going to feel so much better. I have that, and I have kettlebells. I swing kettlebells. Probably the best dynamic exercises you could do. And you can take those everywhere, too. You can take them outside. I work out outside all the time. It's such a great feeling. And it's such a great feeling of being grateful. You know what I mean? Working outside, enjoying that weather. You have a shitty trade. You go outside. You freaking, throw off a couple swear words. Throw the weights around. You feel 100% better. You got it out of your system. Reset. You're ready to go the next day. You know what I mean? So,
guys, and don't be afraid to look like a lunatic.
No.
I mean, everyone's so fucking uptight nowadays, man. I mean, who cares what you look like? You know, it's all about just do your thing. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who cares what these people think about you? I mean, man. You care what Susie Ann and Joe Blow have to say about you down the street? Who cares?
Most of them say because they're probably jealous that they don't have the ability to do what you're doing. You know?
Yeah, because
they don't have the time. They don't have they just don't have the wherewithal to do what you're doing. So they have to put you down. They have to bring you down to their level. Don't listen to that shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Just do your thing, man. Do your thing and don't worry about what people have to think about you. It's, you know, if you got to go in the backyard and yell and scream and chop wood and act like a lunatic, do it, man.
Yeah.
Do it. Like I always say, I mean, you know, when I tell you guys to talk to yourselves in trades, it's like, man, what, your dog gonna look at you funny? Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Who gives a shit? Quit being so uptight. The ones that really are successful in this business are the ones that think outside the box and really just don't give a shit. They're like the honey badger. Honey badger don't give a fuck, right? Like,
yeah.
It's true. Just do your thing. Just do whatever you have to do to be successful. You know, Rich Piana, love him or hate him. For those of you that don't know, you could just look him up. The guy's, he's a beast, right? And he really lived his life. He's dead now. Way too much gear. But is what it is. I mean, he lived a really big, rich, full life, and he never gave a fuck what anybody thought. And the guy's an animal, right? You know, you don't be worried about what people have to say to you or say about you or anything like that. You know, that's a big part about being, you know, mentally stable and mentally fit. Is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do your thing. You know, do your thing. And you're going to find that, you know, working out and eating properly. And like I said, and like what Tino said, don't worry about like going full tilt on it. Like you don't need to go so crazy, like instantly overnight. You're a fucking vegan and you grow yourself a fucking man bun.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah. And you twerk like,
well, twerk's another,
Oh, I mean, no. Twerking's good. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, you got to get the oil. See, I oil my stuff up with the short shorts and the tube socks.
Well, you need that.
And I got to have the headband on. And I get out in the front yard while traffic's going by and I twerk. You know?
Oh, shit.
So it's a scene, man. It's crazy. But, well, let me ask you this. Man. You have a shitty fucking day, right? How do you reset yourself? How do you reset your mind? What do you do?
I go downstairs instantly. I go downstairs. I go to my rack. My rack is my sanctuary. I do all of my lifting off of compound movements. Compound movements are, you know, your deadlifts, your squats, your bench press, your military press. And rows. That's all I do. I keep things simple. Everything in my life is simple, guys. I keep it as simple as possible. And I will load up weight and I will kill myself to get that aggression out. That stress, that everything. So that's first what I'll do. And after that, if I'm still all amped up and pissed off, I'll take a round out of the heavy bag. And then after that, then I'll relax and usually go hang out either outside or Chrissy and I will go to we'll go to town, grab a coffee, relax, right?
Yeah.
But it's first before I talk to anyone. See, I know myself pretty well. And if I've had a rough day, I'm going to take it out on you because I'm looking for a fight. I'm an aggressive motherfucker. I just that's just how I am.
Yeah.
So I'll look to pick a fight with anyone. So I need to go downstairs and I need to get my fucking head straight. So you guys got to be self-aware, right? Like there's a lot of people that just aren't self-aware in life, and that becomes a real big issue, right? Like if you notice that you're a shithead when you get stressed out, then go get your head straight. Go get your head straight before you talk to people, right?
Yeah.
You know?
And stop with the negative language, the negative self.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because that's just going to keep you down, man. Yeah, we all have bad days, you know. And I'm sure after you go hit the bag, you do your weights. I mean, that's the way you do it. I'm sure you feel you put everything behind you and you say, okay, on to the next one. That one's over.
Oh, no, it's done.
Reset yourself.
And literally, it's done. I don't take another. I don't even think about it. It's done. It's it. But what Tino just said about the negative language, meaning, you know, you hear people say when they take a bad trade, and the thing is, sometimes I've looked at their trades after they've said that, and it's not a bad trade. It just didn't work. And there's a big difference there between a bad trade and a trade that just didn't work. And you know, they'll say, oh, I'm stupid. I suck. I fucking hate that. Oh, yeah. I hate that. You call yourself a loser. That's what you are. That's what you are. You're fucking loser. Right?
And I don't know, Pat. I've noticed that a lot in the chat room. I mean, I don't remember the names, but I've just noticed a lot of the negative self-talk going on there. Like almost like they don't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, even if they have a good trade, they'll talk themselves out of it and say, yeah, I just got lucky. Yeah, you know that. No,
that's bogus.
You fucking earned it. You did bogus. You know. So just think more positive.
Yeah, it's important, guys. It's important to have confidence, and confidence is everything, man. I mean, go ask a random woman. You probably don't have the confidence to go ask this, but go ask a random woman and ask what the most attractive quality is in a man. And the ones that are honest, and probably 8 times out of 10, they will say confidence.
Yep.
I mean, if you're confident, you can be one ugly motherfucker and still get a bunch of women. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. If
you're confident at fucking, I mean,
yeah.
Had my day, right? So
yeah, but you can walk into a room and own that room. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's about presence too, right?
And the same thing with day trading, man. Own that fucking chart. You know what I mean?
Own it. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Right? I mean, is it going to work all the time? No, the market's going to own your ass. But you know what? Yeah. It shouldn't matter. You got to be a swinging dick. Like I've said that so many times, guys. I mean, that type of confidence is very important. It doesn't mean you got to be a dick. I mean, there's a lot of fucking dickheads out there where they just have an ego. I'm not talking about ego. I'm talking about confidence. And there's a big difference. Okay. You know, so
yeah,
know that difference. Don't be an asshole because you're right. You know, just know what you know and commit, have some follow through. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and be I mean, talk positively. You know what I mean? Speak well about yourself. Don't put yourself down, man, because you're gonna be who you say you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have a good trade. You fucking earned it, man. Be proud of yourself. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Don't call yourself I got lucky and I'm shit. I mean, I've heard that one so many times. Oh, I'm shit. What? What do you mean shit? Are you sure? I've never said that about myself. In my eyes, I'm a fucking god. Fucking right side.
Yeah.
Boom.
And I'm a fucking twerker.
Oh, yes. You are. Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, man.
It's not a twerk. It's a pelvic tilt, okay? Let's just get that straight. A pelvic tilt.
Yeah, right? the Tim Tebow.
I had to put it in layman's terms, man.
Yeah.
I had to put it because everybody knows that freaking pose. You know, I had to put it in layman's terms. I'm out there doing the Tim Tebow and twerking.
No, good stuff, man. You know what? Yeah. I think we'll wrap it up here. It's been a good episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a little different than, but this is important.
It's important, man.
So I hope you guys listen to what Tino had to say, and if you don't remember the poses exactly, just go rewind a bit, listen to it again. Stand up. Try and eat healthy water. Like water's so fucking important.
Drink water, man. Drink water, and guys,
it sounds so silly.
Yeah, and take that time when you're watching the chart, man. Stretch. You got that time. What else are you doing? Stretch.
Nothing. Yeah.
You're gonna feel so much better. I'm guaranteeing
you're chasing my dogs around. So.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
But anyways, guys. Yeah. Thanks, Tino. All right, guys. Man. Appreciate you guys coming out. Make sure to spread the word. Come on, guys.
We're raising the bar, man. We're going to do a lot more stuff that nobody else is doing, and you're going to see a lot of copycats out there. We already see it. It's already happening. So lot better stuff coming too, man. A lot. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
You're
it's
really
good.
Yeah, Pat, you're lighting this on fire, bro. I'm so happy for you. It's awesome.
Hell yeah. Happy for us, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
TrickTrades, it's us. It's a team, man. It ain't me. Just not me. I mean, come on. Dude, oh my God. But no, it's we're gonna kill it, guys. So adios. Thanks everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks, Tino.
Peace, everybody. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Later, buddy. Adios.
Later.